Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Martin County's new equipment is meant to protect the lives of demolition workers after losing 2 in last year's mine collapse. Plus, a man accused of murdering his mother appeared in court and entered his first plea.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. We're inching up to that 5 o'clock mark this Thursday morning, and today is December 19th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, the rosy cheeks and cold toes are back out to play today.
They sure are. It's a colder start to the morning, and we're not going to be warming up too much as we're heading into the afternoon hours either. Definitely a change from what we saw this week with those temperatures in the 50s and 60s. But for today, not looking so warm. Let's take a look outside though at the fog, as we're looking a lot better in terms of fog today. We just have a couple patches as you're traveling more towards the edge of Virginia and West Virginia in our coverage area. But let's take a look at those very cold temperatures. As you can see, the 30s and 40s. Now, this is about what we'd expect for this time of year. In fact, it's a little bit warmer than what we'd expect, but definitely colder than what we've seen. And our high temperatures are a lot colder than what we've seen, mostly looking in the 40s, some places the low 40s. But as you're traveling towards Jacksboro, that still remains that they're the warmest in our area with that high temperature at 50 degrees. And as we look at the live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning, most of the areas in the clear, you could see a snowflake or two or a little drop of rain or two, but very minimal amounts as you're traveling more towards West Virginia. But for the next 12 hours, really just expecting those temperatures to stay about the same all day long. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. A deadly tragedy last year sparked emergency officials in one county to take action. Now they want to make sure they are better prepared to respond to disasters moving forward. Andrew Colgrove shows us newly acquired equipment that could potentially save lives.
Heartache that underlined a need to take action.
We found out in the mine disaster how unprepared we were for, a disaster of that magnitude.
Last year, 2 workers were preparing an 11-story structure at a former coal plant in Martin County for demolition. The building collapsed. The workers were trapped and killed.
It was immediately clear that counties like ours were just woefully unprepared.
Martin County Judge Executive Lon Lafferty says getting better prepared for emergencies became a priority.
Emergency management has certainly come into focus.
The area where the collapse happened had no cell service, and for lighting, all the first on scene had were flashlights.
There was no cell service, no communication whatsoever.
We've got a radio that's got the nationwide mutual aid channels programmed into it.
Roughly $30,000 from a state grant, along with funds from the county budget, have gone to acquiring equipment, including a mobile command unit, light plant, and utility trailer.
If we're in a communications dead zone, and there are a lot of those in eastern Kentucky, there are a lot of places we don't have cell phone coverage, and this helps fill the gap.
They're also trying to recruit and train volunteers in the county who could help out in an emergency in a number of ways.
Have them ready to go if we know a couple days in advance that this large storm or this major snowstorm was coming.
Wanting to position themselves to be ready to potentially save lives. Andrew Colgrove, WSAZ, Inez.
Their mobile command center is a former school bus that was donated by the Martin County Board of Education. A Pikeville man accused of murdering his mother appeared before a judge yesterday. 59-year-old Alex Uhas is accused of shooting and killing his 75-year-old mother, Paulette Mullins, on October 14th. He appeared in Pike Circuit Court yesterday, pleading not guilty to that charge as charges for terroristic threatening and assault of a police officer.
So this case was presented to the grand jury, and the grand jury returned an indictment for murder, which is a capital offense. Possible sentence is 20 to 50 years or life.
Uhas is being held on a $500,000 cash bond and is expected to be back in court April 4th. In Tazewell, Tennessee, a Tazewell, Tennessee man is headed to prison for more than 3 decades after killing his wife, a Claiborne County jail employee. Tennessee Bureau of Investigators says Benjamin Hobson stabbed his wife, Lori, multiple times as they drove down Barron Creek Road. Her body was later found outside of the car. This all happened back in April. After a guilty plea, Hobson will spend the next 37 years in prison and must serve that entire term. In the wake of Monday's deadly shooting at a Madison, Wisconsin school, many schools are looking at safety efforts. That includes Danville Christian Academy. The school is similar in size to the Abundant Life Christian School, where 2 people were killed and 6 others injured. Danville Christian Academy does have a school resource officer, and they've increased their security in recent years. SRO Derek Robbins says anyone who enters the school is screened and the doors are locked. The deadline is approaching when it comes to getting help with your heating bill. You have until Friday to submit your application to the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, known as LIHEAP. Those in need can receive anywhere from $50 to $250, depending on a family's household income, size, and heating supply source. When applying, you need to bring a valid photo ID or Social Security card for those living in your home, proof of income, and your current electric bill.
We absolutely are here to make sure that everybody has the resources they need to be safe and to be healthy and to be warm in the winter time.
The next opportunity to apply is in January. The Community Action Council gets people connected to this type of assistance, which covers gas, electric, or bulk fuel fees. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, from taking supplements to even taping your mouth shut, some Gen Zers are going to extremes to get a good night's sleep.
And temperatures may be cold today, but colder weather is ahead. I'll have more coming up.